This is Midrash Tanchuma, Parshat Terumah, entitled, "Why did Rabbi Akiva call a Roman governor a dog to his face?" So there are many conversations listed in the Talmud of the Midrash between Rabbi Akiva and the Roman governor Turnus Rufus. And in fact, Turnus Rufus is named as the one who ordered the sanctuary of the Temple of Jerusalem to be plowed under. Another interesting fact is Rabbi Akiva ends up marrying the wife of Turnus Rufus. There's a Gemara in Tainus that discusses this and says that when Akiva first met the wife of Turnus Rufus, he spat and cried and laughed. And why did he do this? He spat because even though she was an amazingly beautiful woman, she, like everyone else, came from a putrid drop, no different than any other human being. He laughed because he knew that she was going to end up converting and marrying, and he was going to marry her. And he cried because someone of this amazing beauty was going to end up in a grave like everyone else. In any case, back to our story. So Turnus Rufus asked Rabbi Akiva in this conversation, why is it that God hates Rome so much? Edom, Esav, all the names of Rome. Why does God hate Rome so much? And Akiva said, I need time to think about it. Eventually, he was confronted again, and they were having a conversation. Turnus Rufus asked Akiva, did you have any dreams last night? And he says, yes, I did have a dream. I dreamt about two dogs, one named Rufus and one named Rufina. Well, of course, Turnus Rufus was incensed. He said, you dreamt about... You dare to call me, you dreamt about me and my wife as a dog? You dare to say that? His wife's name was Rufina. You dare to say to my face that you dreamt about me and my wife being a dog? So Rabbi Akiva said, I'm actually trying to answer your question. You want to know why God is so incensed with Rome? Because think of it. You took God's name and you applied it to a tree. In other words, since they, worship trees and stars and moon and idols, and they assign God's name to those items, that's just like assigning his name and his wife's name to a dog. So that's why you're incensed and God is incensed. And it seems that Turnus Rufus actually accepted this understanding and this explanation. The interesting thing is, so what does this have to do with Parshat Terumah? So unfortunately, the Midrash, Tanchuma, in Parshat Terumah, since it's talking about the Mishkan, and the Mishkan is the Bet HaMikdash was modeled on the Mishkan, unfortunately the Midrash is anticipating what's going to happen to the Beis HaMikdash. Unlike Rabbi Akiva, who spent his life so dedicated to Torah that he even, violated decree when you're not allowed to teach Torah. He said Torah is like water, you fish out of water, you have to keep teaching, and he was killed for that. But unfortunately, in the Temple of Jerusalem, it became totally corrupted. It became a place of not only corruption, but idol worship. So here, I guess to mirror this story, it's like taking God's name, in this parsha it says, Vasuli Mikdash Shachanti B'tocho, that I want this to place, the Bet HaMikdash should be a place of dwelling for me, for God. Instead, it was changed. It was God's name on this building, but it turned out to be a building of a different kind, a building, as I said, of corruption and idol worship. So that is the connection to Parshat Terumah. I wish you all a good Shabbos.